Hi there. It is a fairly nice day today, and we are going to be doing a potato reveal on this group of SG crosses. This is the group of potatoes that had that monster plant, which is kind of right next to the camera, not in the frame. Monster plant with 8 pounds of berries. But we're starting over here with the very first plant in the row. Looks like that actually might be I'm gonna set this one aside because we could be looking at a mixture of stuff. That happens. Seeing some these ones look a little pink. This one looks very yellow. I hope you can see that in the frame. So this one looks pretty yellow. I think we got two different potatoes here. Very, very yellow on a chain tuber. Okay. So this is a hand-pollinated cross made by my friend Nathan, and he was kind enough to give me the seed, or at least some of it. I don't think he gave me all of it. Oh dang, speared that one. So what I'm seeing, somebody in here is a super long stolonizer. You see that? That's a little bit aggressively stolonizing. So looks like I kind of hit into the row slightly off center. Wish I hadn't done that, because I've actually damaged a number of potatoes right off the bat. So this first one, kind of round tubers, a little bit of pink, and then we already got into this next potato with some bigger yellow looking potatoes. Okay. So this looks like more of the same potato. This is not a bad potato. I wish I hadn't spiked those big ones. Although, one thing, maybe it's a good thing, because I was probably gonna dig into a couple of them anyway. One thing I've been deciding to change about my evaluation of new seedlings is I want to start, oftentimes, you know, like Torp and I, when we're evaluating a seedling, we'll like pick a small one and cut it open to see what the flesh color is like. And I'm deciding that what I need to do is pick the biggest potato from the seedling and cut it open. And the reason I need to do that, I've decided, is because I typically have a lot of problems with hollow heart. And so if the largest potato in the that the seedling produces gives me a big hollow heart, I might evaluate it differently. Wow, this isn't a bad potato. This, you know, I didn't notice it when it was growing, but there's quite a few potatoes here. We'll show it to you. So look at there. That's a pretty good group. Nathan, when he was doing his cross pollinations, afterwards he got had a little bit of a mix-up, lost track of which pollen he'd use to pollinate SG, but he knew that it was either CIP 396286-7, or it was a potato called Varroa, which is a variety that is descended from New Zealand, native New Zealand potatoes. There's a group of potatoes that the Maori people in New Zealand grew prior to European contact, the assumption being that they acquired them directly from South America via trans-Pacific exploration, which the Polynesian cultures are extremely famous for. So yeah, Varroa is a TPS seedling from some New Zealand TPS of one of the traditional New Zealand potatoes. I'm a little fuzzy on which one or whatever. Oh, so anyway, we are now getting into the monster. Moment of truth. Gaya. So what do you think? That looks like a pretty big potato. Oh my God. Looks like pink skin. Looks like we had some a lot of vole problems in this one. You know, it was sort of creating its own vole habit. Look at the roots on this sucker. These aren't stolons, these are roots. Holy smokes. Well, this is nothing to sneeze at, that's for sure. I've been looking forward to digging this potato for a while. Ever since I realized that basically all the vegetation in the row was coming from this one plant. Holy moly. And I have to say, this one is way less rangy than that 8-pound seedling that we dug. That was my previous record. I don't know just yet. I do see a lot of vole damaged potatoes. Let's keep. Ooh, wow, that's kind of a monster. There's one. Another vole damaged one. Okay. Kind of pale pink. Pale pink. Very, I mean, obviously you have high hopes for a potato that gets this big. Wow. Okay. Yeah, this is going to give that 8-pounder a run for its money. Look at that. Whoa, boy. Big rock. You know, I do have a lot of rocks. It's not actually necessary to tell me that in the comments, although no one seems to be able to resist after a while. But just let me tell you, I'm aware of the rocks. I think that's it. So that is a pretty decent pile. And this was that yellow one. That one's not bad either. I'm actually not surprised that a lot of these didn't produce much, because this row didn't look that impressive I kind of ignored this whole row for a long time because I didn't think anything was happening over here. It looked just kind of things weren't thriving. So we got, oh, these are pretty. Look at those. A lot of them right up on top. These are like gorgeous little yellow potatoes. Fortunately, a bunch of them are green because they're up on the surface. Look at that. So clean and perfect. Wow. This is such a neat cross, Nathan. If you watch this, you should do this cross again. Of course, you don't know what it is. These are beautiful. These are, well, a little weird, that one, but I mean, the skin is clean. These are lovely. If they'd stayed a little deeper, a lot of them are sunburned, but cute potatoes. And for such a tiny, I'll be curious about these. These are, you know, maybe Torp would think these are boring because there's a lot of potatoes that look kind of like this in Europe, like smooth skinned yellow potatoes. But yeah, see, but look at that guy. I mean, I wish they hadn't all gotten sunburned. Oops. He got speared. He was way over on the edge. Wow. Should have been a little more careful, Timmy. Should have been a little more careful, sir. Okay, so let's do a tour of the potatoes. Last to first. Last one, kind of yellow skin with maybe like some pink eyes. Then the next to last and was this one. Yellow, very smooth tubers. Some of them are kind of pointy. I think they're pretty. And then this tiddler. And then we had the monster potato with just some enormous spuds. And I mean, that's kind of a crazy potato. It'll be interesting to see what the yield is on these guys. And then there was a gap, and then there was this potato, which had some long stolons, pretty attractive yellow tubers. And then these three were kind of hard to tell if they were a separate potato or not, so I'm keeping them separate. It's not like I'm keeping them anyway. And then this was the first potato, kind of a nice blocky, but I mean the yield isn't there. Those are pink, very palest pink potatoes, white. So yeah, let's weigh some of these guys up. Here's that very first one. 10.5, 11 ounces. You know, that's why we don't need to weigh them. I mean, you can just look at them and tell that they're not worth it. I'm gonna use this bucket just as a, there's still mud on the potatoes. It's not exact. I'm just trying to get, I'm not trying to win a contest here, or, you know, I'm just trying to get a ballpark assessment of the yield. Knock off the big clods of mud. Speared that one. So these are kind of round, deep-eyed, knobbly, a little bit knobbly on some of them. Long stolons. know, we got into these on our very first forkful of a tuber or potato that was its neighbor, so it expanded into other people's territory. So 2 pounds 4 ounces. Okay, so it's kind of clearly just a yellow skin, no color to the eyes. This one got damaged because I forked it, so we'll just and nice yellow flesh. And this was the biggest tuber, and I don't see any signs of hollow heart, so that's positive. Now we got, let's do that other gold one. These are the two biggest ones. I speared this one. And that gets us to 2 pounds 8 ounces. This one seems maybe white with, looks like quite a bit of scab. This is also yellow flesh. No hollow heart there. No hollow heart. We don't get that really deep, for whatever reason, we don't seem to get that really deep scab that Torp's got on a lot of her tubers. I've never seen tubers pull out of this ground as scabby as some of the stuff that Torp has to deal with. I don't know if that's the conditions or if it's just a different strain of the fungi or what. Okay, now for the big deal. There's a pound. £2. £3. No, not yet. 3 pounds. There's 3 pounds. Four. So there's 5. And I'm just gonna pour these into a grocery bag. Okay. So that's 6 pounds. Six and a half. So we're not going to break 8. 7 pounds. And I left this one to last. So that's 7 pounds, 12 ounces. So it didn't quite break the record. It's more than 4 ounces off because the other one weighed a little bit more than 8 pounds. But this is still, I mean, it's the second best seedling I've ever grown. And it also holds the record for the most berries I've ever harvested off of a single plant. At 8, it gave me 8 pounds of berries. So it gave me just shy of 8 pounds of tubers and 8 pounds of berries. Should I wash this one up? I mean, it's not like I'm going to keep this one for seed. I can, if I wash this one up, I can. It looks very Peruvian, doesn't it? With all those. Let me wash this one up, and we'll cut it and see if it's got hollow heart. So yeah, you can see pink skin, kind of a light pink and yellow skin. This one's a little bit abnormal. Most of them don't have the eyes quite this prominent with this bulge. This is kind of very Peruvian looking, this one. Very Andean looking. And it does have a little, see that? Yellow flesh, little bit of hollow heart. But you know, for a tuber this big, it's not really that surprising to see hollow heart. Let me pick a smaller sort. This is kind of like what I would call a moderate sized potato. Let me wash this one up and slice it. You can see the skin isn't quite set on this potato. I slipped the skin right there and right there. So there's some hollow heart. So that's disappointing. I'm gonna have to think some about this potato. Yeah, I do like the color of the flesh. Yeah, I'll give it a taste and see what it's like and what the texture and flavor's like before I decide if I'm gonna keep this one. I hope this was interesting for you guys, and thank you very much for watching.